Hi, I'm Kathleen Hirsch, and this is Video Voters Guide, a service of the League of Women Voters, a 102-year-old nonpartisan organization that believes democracy depends on informed and active participation. For more election information, be sure to visit our online site, vote411.org, before you mark your ballot. Today, we have Scott Irwin running for West Linn City Council. Hi, Scott. Welcome.
Hello. Hi. Thank you very much for having me, Kathleen.
Tell us about your experience and why you decided to run for City Council.
Yes, I've always had an interest in civic engagement. My wife and I moved to the Portland area in 2007. After we finished law school, she wanted to get into nonprofit management, and I was looking forward to trying to find employment with the state or one of the local municipalities. So I started working for the state of Oregon at the employment department. Worked there for almost 10 years as a professional doing unemployment insurance adjudication. And then I worked for the Bureau of Labor and Industries for about a year and a half doing prevailing wage rate law enforcement. So I really enjoyed that opportunity to be a public servant, and I decided that I wanted to be more engaged. Well, first off, with my family, decided to, well, with COVID, become a stay-at-home parent. My wife was able to continue her employment, and I was able to work closely with the children. And during that time, I decided to get involved with the citizen advisory groups here in West Linn, first with the Historic Review Board, and then with the Planning Commission. So with those experiences, I felt it was time to step in to the city councilor race and be more involved in my local community.
Since you have been in an advisory kind of city planning position, what do you see that could be done to lower the cost of building new housing in West Linn that would make it more affordable?
Yeah, actually, as a member of the Planning Commission, I was put on a subcommittee that helped develop the House Bill 2001 rules, which essentially what it does is it's statewide, and it makes it so plexes, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes could be built on single-family lots. So this was something mandated by the state, and the city created a subcommittee to figure out, well, what will West Linn's specific rules be? And so I got to participate in that whole legislative process. It was a great experience to help build the compromise position, and then participate with the Planning Commission to bring that forward. So that way the opportunity for these units can be built, increasing the housing that's available without bringing the density up to the point where it's like up in Portland, there's very little green space still. So we have maintained the green space while increasing the amount of opportunity for housing to be built in West Linn. There's also House Bill 2003, which has its own requirements, and I look forward to participating in that process to help make more housing available to people of various social economic levels of income.
That sort of leads into this. How would you balance growth with the city's ongoing responsibilities for maintenance of infrastructure and services?
Yeah, that definitely is a very tough situation. Growing up in Iowa, I know the balance between rural and urban, and I greatly appreciate the rural-urban experience that I can have down here in West Linn. And I definitely want to do what I can to maintain that while a controlled amount of growth is happening, so that way basic services, though, the water lines are getting updated. Some street repairs definitely need to happen in different parts of the city. More crosswalks need to be available to create safe routes to parks, schools, and mass transit. So there's a lot of internal work that needs to be done for maintenance, and part of making that happen is growth, because Westland's primary source of income is from property taxes. And so if the city wants to have more funds to do more work to maintain and improve the services and facilities of the city, there does need to be growth. And so there is the balancing act, which I think has been done pretty well in Westland, and I definitely will be very mindful of that while I'm in council.
Well, as a father, how about what role should the city play in supporting kids during non-school times?
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, the school day ends at 2:30, and that's a big chunk of time where there can be extracurriculars. For my children, they do a lot of sports, and so that's something that keeps them engaged, keeps them active, keeps them off screens. So I definitely encourage any activities that keep them moving and improving their creativity. I'm glad we have a youth music project here in Westland. I think it's a great nonprofit for the whole metro area, and it's great to have that entity right here in town. I know that there are a lot of other nonprofits that help with after-school care, and those programs need to be supported. City Parks programs, of course, has a lot of programs going on, and I definitely want to make sure that access to those sports programs and summer camps are maintained and improved where needed.
The pandemic was an isolating experience for many people. If elected, what will you do to bring people together in your city and create a greater sense of community?
Yeah, the pandemic, I think, was a very difficult experience for all of us, very life changing in many ways. But we I think we've come through it okay. I mean, of course there's been the fire and ice storm threats in the midst of it all. So we've had a lot of challenges, and I think that in itself creates an opportunity to strengthen our community. The Willamette Falls area, I think, is becoming more of a place for a center of commerce and gathering. And I know there's the riverfront development plan that's being developed, and that I think will also create even more of a cohesiveness there. I mean, we have good neighborhood associations, good connections within our neighborhoods, and it's building that central connection where we can say, yeah, this is really the heart of Westland. That's something that we're building toward, and I definitely look forward to participating in strengthening that overall community bond. Also, there's things just as certain programs that could happen. For myself, after the ice storm happened, we lost a very significant percentage of our tree canopy, and with our changing environment, we definitely need some new trees, and new trees that are able to handle the new environment that we are experiencing. And what I would like to do is try to create a coalition between the city, private enterprise, and nonprofit entities to help create a program to get more trees planted throughout Westland, and coordinate through the neighborhood association. So that way, if there are individuals who want a tree and maybe just don't have the resources or physical capacity to put it in the ground, then we can coordinate and help make that possible. So I think that's a win for the community, strengthening the bonds within the neighborhoods, bringing back our tree canopy, and helping protect our houses from the increasing heat coming from direct sunlight.
Scott, thank you so much for talking with us today. And voters, don't forget to visit vote411.org for complete candidate and ballot measure information.